Hey everybody, it's Mark Vogt with VOGTLAND Outdoors, and in our continued series on string walking, in today's lesson I'm going to compare two different bows, different dimensions, same draw weight. And what we're going to learn is the same string walking numbers, your 20-meter gap, your 10-meter interval gap are the same. It all depends on the draw weight of the bow. But first, the intro. Okay, now that we're back, we're going to take a look at the two bows. First one is a Martin Jaguar. I'm going to use this scale that you use for measuring your luggage to actually measure the draw weight. You're going to see this is actually really handy. We're going to zero it out, and we're going to draw this bow back to my typical draw length. Right there. And we're going to see we're at 57.6. Let's call it 58 pounds. So we've got a bow that actually is about 64 inches complete. 64-inch bow, a Martin Jaguar. Then we're going to compare it to my little Darton Magnum. This is my hunting bow. This thing, my God, I think it's only about 42 inches tall. But it's got nearly the same draw weight. Let me zero this out. We're going to draw this back. And now you're going to see it's 58.74 pounds. Call it 59. So we get what? 57 versus 59. They're virtually identical. But what that tells you is that string walking should be the same. The two critical numbers of string walking, your 20-meter gap, your 10-meter interval gap, should be the same for both bows. And what we're going to do is we're going to shoot at 10 meters, at 20 meters, at 30 meters. And probably out there, I'll push it out to 50, just to prove a point that the bows shoot the same. The gaps that I use for string walking will be the same gap. And the lesson that you're going to learn is string walking and those two critical numbers really just depends on the draw weight of the bow. It doesn't matter what kind of bow it is. It doesn't matter if it's a long bow. It doesn't matter if it's an Asian bow. It doesn't matter if it's a short recurve bow like this or if it's an Olympic recurve bow. It doesn't make any difference. So let me set this down and get ready to take the first shot. Actually, while I'm waiting for my turn to go get my arrows, I wanted to show you what the two bows look like side by side. You can see one is definitely different dimensions than the other. Now I'm going to go and roll that bag up to 10 meters, and we're going to start. Okay, here we are at 10 meters. We're going to start off with the Martin Jaguar. The VOGTLAND string walking technique has two critical numbers, the 20-meter gap and the 10-meter interval gap. My 20-meter gap for a bow with this draw weight, 59 pounds, 60 pounds, is 3 fingers. So if I want to actually shoot at a 10-meter bag, step 1, I go down to my 20-meter gap. Step 2, I adjust for the change in range. I need to change the range by decreasing it by 10 meters. That means I need to increase the gap by a half a finger. That's my interval. So that 3.5 fingers is going to be my interval for this bow, even for that Darton Magnum. So let's shoot. So step 1 of the VOGTLAND shooting method, choose your gap. Step 2, draw back under your chin. Step 3, look down the left side of the string. Step 4, put the tip of the arrow right on the target. Step 5, small motion release. Pretty good shot. Now let's do the same thing with the Darton Magnum. Physically smaller bow, literally 44 inches compared to 64 inches, but we'll use the exact same two numbers for string walking because it's got the same draw weight. Step 1, choose your gap, 3.5 fingers. Step 2, draw back under your chin. Step 3, look down the left side of the string. Step 4, put the tip of the arrow on the target. Step 5, small motion release. And a very nice shot. The same two numbers, same string walking gap, all because the draw weight of the two very different bows is the same draw weight, or nearly so. 58 versus 59 something. Yeah. Let's pause the camera, roll out to 20 meters. Okay, now we're out at 20 meters and I'm back to the Martin Jaguar. Again, the string walking method should be the same because the draw weights are the same. So 20 meters is that rare one where I don't need both numbers in the VOGTLAND string walking. I just need the first one, the 20 meter gap right there. So that's what I'm going to shoot on both bows. Step 1, choose your gap. Step 2, draw back onto your chin. Step 3, look down the left side of the string. Step 4, put the tip of the arrow on the target. Step 5, small motion release. Pulled a little left, let me shoot again. These are only the first couple shots of the day. And I did a sprint triathlon this morning, so I'm a little tired. That's a 500-yard swim, 15-mile bike ride, and a 4-mile run, so I'm bushed. Step 1, choose the gap. Step 2, draw back under the chin. Step 3, look down the left side of the string. Step 4, tip of the arrow on the target. Step 5, small motion release. Looks pretty good. Let's do that exact same gap, only with the DARTON Magnum. Smaller bow, same draw weight, therefore same string walking. Same gap, a 3-finger gap. Step 1, choose your gap. Step 2, draw back under your chin. Step 3, look down the left side of the string. Step 4, tip of the arrow on the target. Step 5, small motion release. God, I love this bow. If you guys ever find a DARTON Magnum on Craigslist or at a rummage sale, this is my favorite hunting bow. Let's roll back to 30 meters. Let's roll back to 30 meters next and see how that string walking method stays the same for the two very different, physically different bows. Okay, you've seen the string walking comparison at 10 meters so far. At 20 meters, that's where the gap actually gets bigger because the back of the arrow has to go up so that the front of the arrow points down, so you shoot at shorter distances than your 20-meter gap. This is the first time we're going beyond 20 meters, which means now the back of the arrow has to come up. Let me show you this. We saw at first we had 10 meters like this. The back of the arrow had to go up from 20 in order for the tip to go down in order to shoot at shorter distances. Then we shot at 20. Now we have, and that means that the back of the arrow had to come down a little bit. Now we're shooting at 30, and now the back of the arrow has to come down again. Remember what string walking is. You're leaving the knocking point of the arrow in the same place, and you're moving your draw point where your index finger is compared to where that knocking point is. You're adjusting your elevation of your arrow by walking that draw point up and down the string. So here we are at 30 meters. And what I would have to do here is step 1, start with a 20-meter gap. Step 2, adjust for the change in range. The change in range is an increase of 10. That means I have to decrease the gap by a half a finger. There's my half finger, so there's my 30-meter gap. I'm going to shoot that on this Martin Jaguar and then on the DARTON Magnum. Step 1, choose your gap. Step 2, draw back onto your chin. Step 3, look down the left side of the string. Step 4, tip of the arrow on the target. Step 5, small motion release. Good distance. Moved it a little bit to the left-hand side. I told you I'm tired. I'll shoot one more and then we're going to go and use the DARTON Magnum. Step 1, choose my gap. Step 2, draw back under the chin. Step 3, down the left-hand side. 4, tip of the arrow on the target. 5, smooth, small motion release. Still good distance, and that's what I want to show you guys today. Let's switch over to the DARTON Magnum. Here's my little guy. Same draw weight. Therefore, same string walking gap, 2.5 fingers. We start, go down to the 20 meter mark, go up 1/2 finger. There's my gap. Step 2, draw back under the chin. Step 3, look down the left-hand side of the string. Step 4, tip of the arrow on the target. Step 5, slow motion release. Oh, God, I love this bow. That's a bullseye. That's why I take this hunting. It goes where you point it. Let's pause the camera and go to 40 meters. Okay, now we're at 40 meters and we're going to use the Martin Jaguar first. Again, same draw weight, so the same string walking numbers, the same dimensions. It's going to be, this is what it's going to look like for both bows. Going to start down at the 20 meter. We need to go up 20 meters. That means the back needs to pull down 2.5 fingers. That's a full finger. There is my 40 meter gap. Step 1, choose your gap. Step 2, draw back under your chin. Step 3, look down the left side of the string. Step 4, tip of the arrow right on the target. Not above it, not below it, not left, not right. Right on it with the tip of the arrow. Step 5, small motion release. Nice shot. Now we're going to do the same thing with the Darton Magnum. Here we are. Same gap. In case you guys are wondering and you're doing math, you're saying, Mark, you started at 3 fingers for 20, you went up 1 finger for an adjustment for 40. Isn't that the same as going down 2 fingers? You guys will learn all those little shortcuts too. So step 1, I'm going to choose my gap, 2 fingers for 40 meters. Step 2, draw back under the chin. Step 3, look down the left side of the string. Step 4, tip of the arrow on the target. Step 5, slow motion release. Pretty good. Now we're going to roll it back to 50. All that time. All right, now we're out at, we started at 10 meters, 20 meters, 30, 40, now we're at 50 meters. Seeing that 2 different size bows, the Martin Jaguar, 64 inches, 59-pound draw weight, and the Darton Magnum, 44-inch little micro bow, but also 59-pound draw weight, have the exact same string walking dimensions. It only matters what the draw weight is, guys. This is what I've been trying to impress upon you with the VOGTLAND shooting method and with the VOGTLAND string walking method, is that you can carry this method in your pocket. It's completely portable. You pick up anybody's bow, and it doesn't matter what kind of a bow it is. You could do this with a compound bow, holding it with your fingers, and still that string walking method would be able to change the elevation of the arrow so that you could actually hit all these different ranges. So for 50 meters, that's actually going to be starting at 20, and now we have to go up 30. 30 is 3.5 fingers, 1.5 fingers. There is my gap for 50 meters. We're going to do this on the Martin Jaguar, and then we're going to do it on the Darton Magnum. So here we go. Step 1, draw back under the chin. Step 2, look down the left. Step 1, choose your gap. Step 2, draw back under your chin. Step 3, look down the left side of the string. Step 4, with the tip of the arrow on the target. Step 5, slow motion release. Get over the arrow. How about I stop talking when I shoot? You guys have seen that in every one of my videos, that you cannot talk your way through and then successfully shoot. So I'll be really quiet here. Shh. Step 1, choose your gap. Step 2, draw back onto the chin. 3, look down the left side of the string. 4, tip of the arrow on the target. 5, slow motion release. Yeah, good distance. Pulled into the left because I'm tired. Let's go do the exact same thing with the Darton Magnum. My little Darton Magnum. Same gap. Like you guys heard, we went down 3 to start, up 1.5. That's the same as if you came down 1.5. So step 1, choosing my gap. Step 2, draw back under the chin. Step 3, look down the left side of the string. Step 4, tip of the arrow on the target. Step 5, small motion release. Nice shot. Waggled just a little bit, but the range is good, and that's what I'm trying to tell you in today's video, that the distances remain the same because the string walking remains the same because the draw weights of the two bows are the same or virtually the same draw weight. Let's push it out to 60 meters and try again. Guys, it's super hot. It's like in the mid 90s already here in Illinois. I'm going to go all the way out to 70. That's the black target with the smiley face on it. We're going to do the exact same string walking gaps for those two different bows. Same draw weight is the point. And we're gonna end the video with that one. So let me go get the bow. Starting here with the Martin Jaguar, 64 inches, 58 pound draw. 58 and change. Yeah, 58. The gap for 70 is going to be start down at the 20, and now from the 20 I got to go up 50. 50 is 5 half fingers. 2, 4, 5. There's my 5 half fingers. It's really a half finger from the bottom of the arrow. That's going to be where my drawing point is for my index finger. So here we go, half a finger. Step 1, choose your gap. Step 2, go back under your chin. Step 3, look down the left side of the string. Step 4, tip of the arrow on the target. Step 5, small motion release. Better. Now let's do the same thing with the Darton Magnum. Itty bitty little 44-inch bow shooting 70 meters. Isn't that fun? So all you guys with hunting bows out there are going to say, what? You can use string walking and shoot 70-meter targets? Let's see. Step 1, choose your gap. Step 2, go back under your chin. Step 3, look down the left side of the string. Step 4, tip of the arrow on the target. Step 5, small motion release. Caught the smiley face right in the middle. That's enough to prove the point that with the VOGTLAND string walking method, the only thing that matters is the draw weight, not the shape of the bow. You can have two very different bow sizes. They can be different shapes. They can be long bows. They can be recurve bows. They can be Asian bows. It doesn't matter. What only matters is the draw weight at full draw. And then you can use the exact same two string walking numbers, your 20-meter gap, your 10-meter interval gap. This is Mark Vogt with VOGTLAND Outdoors. Hope you guys, Emmanuel over in Poland, that one was for you. The new guys that showed up in Turkey and in Sweden, nice to have you on board. The new guy in Indonesia, super to have you on here. Feel free to subscribe to my YouTube channel, VOGTLAND Outdoors. We'll see you out there. Cut. Done. Clear.